welcome to the first episode of Am I Creative?
Yes.
Okay. So, if you are or want to be a creative individual, but you often second guess yourself and wonder, am I creative? Then you've come to the right place.
Yeah.
On this ever-long choose your own adventure, we will journey with you and share our stories of how we tackle different challenges, how our failures and successes have shaped us as creatives. We want to bring you encouragement and go deep on topics that are essential to forming a strong, confident, and creative mind. On our first episode, we would like to just do some introductions of ourselves so you can get to know us a little bit better. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us 3 interesting things about yourself?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Chris, and I am a dancer and choreographer. Ooh. And my other creative outlets are playing the piano, cooking and baking, and I love singing and songwriting as well.
Awesome.
Multi-talented.
I cannot dance. Right. My name is Jubilee. I am kind of like a jack of all trades, but also jack of none, because I grew up playing the piano. I also dabble in ukulele, drums sometimes, but my true interest lies in making arts and crafts, and also most recently makeup and nails. Like,
come on,
yeah,
are you kidding me? So
beautiful.
It's a fun community. So that's me.
Come on.
Lovely. And those 3 interesting things about yourself.
3 interesting. How could I forget? Well, when I was 13 years old, I took a skating class with a bunch of toddlers. And then when we were doing the class for backward skating, I fell and bruised my butt for 2 weeks. So that was not a great time.
Did you pass that level?
No.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
My condolences.
Yeah. Other fun facts. I am literally a pun queen. So if you hear me making really crazy jokes or something really cringy, just gloss over it. It'll happen. You'll learn to love it.
Please enjoy them.
Oh yeah, please enjoy them.
Yes,
There are some fun
appreciate
tidbits in our test shot. So
Love that.
last and third fun fact. I don't know. People say I'm like a very kind person, but I also have my sassy moments, so I'm well balanced.
Very true. Just both of the opposite spectrums equals balance.
Yeah.
All right. My name is Phoebe. I'm a musician and producer, and my other creative avenues include filmmaking, photography, and cooking, baking.
Oh yeah.
So 3 things about myself. First of all, I am obsessed with chicken wings. They're my favorite food. I love cooking them, marinating them, finding new recipes to make. Just love wings. Jubilee gave us a double air fryer for Christmas, and it's literally solely to make wings. So thank you.
2 flavors at once. You're welcome.
Top tier.
Second is I love camping, but I don't like heavy physical activity. So those kind of people, like, I think a lot of camping is associated with like backpacking or like just like intense hiking. And like,
stuff.
oh, I carried
18K.
like this giant 50-liter bag like up this mountain 8 hours, and we're gonna like backcountry camp. Like, okay, I'm not that kind of person, but I just love being in the outdoors, you know. And then like just like having to cook and make food in a not your own kitchen is just kind of exciting in its own way.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, and
Not
then
the
the third
dishwashing,
one
though.
is I am a gear queen and I have gas. So, for those of you who don't know, gas is gear acquisition syndrome. So that means we will always be researching gear, and whenever we have the chance, we will upgrade to the better thing. Shout out to fellow gearhead Daniel. Woo.
Oh,
All right.
come on. And not me forgetting my 3 interesting things.
Did you forget?
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, go.
Anyway, one fun fact about me was when I was like 1 year old, I knew how to use the chopsticks for real.
Very good.
And every time I went to the restaurant, all the waitresses are like, "Do you need a fork?" And then they're like, "What? You can use chopsticks?" And dead. Second thing, I love salads. Like, I could eat a whole bucket full, and my sister literally called me a brontosaurus dinosaur because they love eating vegetables and they're kind of slow, and I tend to love taking my time when I do things. So
Hilarious.
last thing, my peak hours are literally 1 to 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Literally, one time I baked an entire cake. Another time I choreographed an entire piece. Another time I wrote an entire song. Lastly, I organized an entire room. And I worked out. Like, I started literally doing burpees and push-ups at like 1 a.m. And my sister's like, have you lost your mind?
And Jubilee, you recently organized your entire closet at 2 a.m. too.
It was impromptu.
Lovely.
Literally.
If you're a creative and your peak hours are also in the middle of the night, give us a comment and let us know.
Let me know if you're weird as me.
If you're one of those rare like morning creatives, I don't feel like I've met any morning creatives yet. Like it's just I've never met any. But if you are, please let us know as well. We're gonna talk about just very quickly our main artistic journey. So, Chris, would you like to
Might
start?
as well.
Yeah.
Me, I think it was when I was 8 years old. I actually got myself into a Chinese dance class, and that's how I was like, yup, dance is my thing. And another girl just was like, hey, you want to get into hip hop? I'm doing hip hop. And I was like, what's that? And I just went in. My first ever class was like a b-boy class. And like ever since then, I just went into competitive stuff, groups, and going into different studios, and it was just crazy journey. And to this day, I'm like teaching now and still growing my craft and learning, but it's crazy. And I think a secondary thing I would say was piano. When I was like 9, dude, my recitals, every time I practice perfect at home, and then I go to the recital and I blank out because I have like stage fright, I guess.
Love it.
Oops, can I do it again?
No, it was like, oops, fail. Can I start over?
At the piano recital with like crazy dresses. I literally said that in the middle of my performance.
Funny.
But yeah.
And they allowed her.
Oh my God. Yeah, my teacher's like, sure.
She's so nice though.
And I think I only learned for 4 years, but then I think it was when I was 18 that I was like, I like got my love for piano back, and I was like, I want to explore like everything. I want to explore jazz because that's the music that I enjoy. And then that's when I started actually improving because I actually enjoyed it. Yeah, those are two, I would say those are two main things that I'm still like exploring on right now, mainly. Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice. Jubilee?
So for myself, I think my creative journey started when I was really young. My mom would always do arts and crafts, and that just made me fall in love with making arts and crafts and drawing and making me my own cards. And my friend from like my childhood the other day actually sent me a screenshot of one of the little cute notes I wrote her when I gave her a bunch of candy. And I said, "Dear Michelle, here's some sweets for you. I hope you love them. Your best friend, Jubilee." It was just like such a throwback because I used to be so into making such cute arts and crafts, but I kind of stopped when I grew older because of all the peer pressure of being perfect and making awesome art. But interestingly, after high school, I didn't know where I was going to go with my career, but we went to a career fair, and there was this school that was like, if you go to our school for 1 year, you will definitely get a job. So I was like, okay. So that's actually
an artist career that actually pays? What?
Well, you know what? That's the cartoon industry. We make Barbie, Madagascar, and I'm currently working on some real fun, pretty shows that I can't talk about. NDAs. But yeah, that was actually a really interesting career and something I can make money from while being still creative. But I definitely feel like I don't do as many creative, fun, beautiful art like I used to as a kid. I would like to get back into it. But right now, my main art hobbies are doing makeup and nails. And like I mentioned before, it's just a fun outlet. But it doesn't require you to be perfect at it. And the community is super nice about inspiring each other, encouraging each other, and just bringing an uplifting energy to a really negative art space.
I feel that.
Oh, yeah.
Jubilee was my childhood inspo, by the way, with art. Like, every time I saw her make cards and stuff, I'm like, I want to make cards too.
Great cards, though. I still have them.
Yeah.
I never made cards.
The odd one out.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, my music journey began at age 6 when I began piano. And within
Okay.
2 years, I was playing like level 6 stuff. And I went to a couple competitions and I actually won. I was second place, third place. I even got first place for playing this beautiful Ave Maria that was a very slow song. A very slow song. But they thought I was very expressive, so they gave me like really high marks for that song. So love that. But I think my piano teacher was on the harsher side. And also like I'm one of those people that like I don't practice. I literally like I only rely on like raw talent and like however far that can get me, that's where I am. And like I will not progress after that. I'm just kidding. So then I continued piano, changed teachers along the way. But it was kind of like I said, I was plateauing pretty hard. At 13, actually YouTube was where I found my first video of a band called Everlife. The three girls, they were playing 2 acoustic guitars and they were singing in a 3-part harmony. And they were singing their song, I Could Get Used to This. Wow, that was a revelation to me in music. And I was never the same after that. I literally was like hooked on that song for months. And I was like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And then not long after that, we were at a thrift store.
Come on, thrift store.
Love thrift stores. No, actually I don't. But my mom loved thrift stores. So we were at a thrift store. We saw this tiny guitar.
Oh my God.
And honestly, the thing barely functions. Like, it's this one right here. And it's here because of sentimental reasons, of course. But it barely functioned. But I was like, I have to get this guitar. This is the only chance of me ever getting a guitar. Like, because we don't go to music stores, right? Yeah. So I bought it. And ever since then, I was like hooked on guitar. I was learning. I grew again really fast within like the first few years, and then just like plateaued super hard. But then you know what? Like, because I mainly played in church, so it doesn't really require that much skill anyway. Yeah. So I was there, and then I went to college for a music degree because I really felt that, you know, I had a dream of, you know, touring, being like a rock star, you know. So I ended up going to college for it. But then I discovered that pursuing music career wasn't what I thought it would be like. There's a lot of sending your demos everywhere, having to pay to produce a lot of your own stuff. And then advertising, marketing yourself was a really big part of it. Kind of like going to all different venues and be like, hey, would you let me play at your place and whatever. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I don't like marketing myself like that. Yeah. So I decided not to pursue a music career. And then I worked for 10 years in customer service and church ministry. And music was just super on the back burner. More recently, though, I went through a big life event that kind of made me really rethink like what I wanted to do with my life, my career. During that really difficult time, I think 2 things really helped me was cooking. It's just something that I could get my mind off the emotions, and I could just focus on like making this one dish taste really good, and that eventually transitioned back into guitar. So then I picked up guitar again, and then that rekindled my love for music and guitar. I started playing artists like Ariel Posen, John Mayer, and more recently Larry Basilio. Highly recommend them. But I like fell in love with guitar, and I realized that wow, I can progress. I can move on from my plateau. I don't have to only rely on winging it, but I could actually like put work into it in the right way and actually get a lot better. So right now, wow, I'm just really excited about music again. And yeah, that's amazing. That's the overview.
Incredible.
Yeah, so we're going to move into your biggest artistic motivation. Why do you love being creative? So we're going to start with Chris.
Hi, guys, I'm back. So I think the main motivation for all the arts and creative platforms that I have, honestly, is it's just it's just fulfilling to see what's in my head and fulfilling to see my visions come to life, and putting it into a piece and then being proud of it is just like, Oh my goodness. Wow. And it's just like,
So true.
it's like the moment where you're just like in a bathroom by yourself and you're just like, you look in the mirror and you're like, wait, I'm actually so proud of myself. Like, I did that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't even care what other people say anymore. Like, I did that. And it's like, God placed it in me to do that. Wow. That's so interesting, right? So it's just like, honestly, at the end of the day, it's just fulfilling to see the crazy stuff that goes in your head. Because, like, honestly, every creative is so different, right? Whatever goes on in your head is so different. So seeing it in real life is just it's just top tier.
Jubilee?
Yeah, how
Awesome.
about you?
Artistic stuff and creativity is a bit different to me because it's kind of my job. But also for my side hobbies, that's kind of the stuff that I do to feel reinvigorated. Because art is my job, it kind of gets boring sometimes, or I kind of feel like it's I don't really want to do it after I'm done working. Like art after working is like
feel
no.
that.
So for me, it's kind of different. I use makeup and nail polish to kind of play with color, play with different shapes, and it just makes my brain juices flow better. And I feel happy from seeing the bright colors. And when I post and share with my friends on Instagram, it's like an awesome way to like bounce ideas off of each other and just feel good about creating art. So for me, it's more like a pick me up rather than something that's like, oh, that's my calling. Like God
Like
didn't say.
therapeutic self-care.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
God didn't say like
right.
you're gonna do makeup for life for me. That's the glory bringing thing. Like no,
right.
that's not it. But it's super fun for me.
I mean, who knows? You know, like you never know, right? God can use many things.
Oh my gosh. But yeah.
But yeah, you also love doing outfits. Yeah, fashion.
I've been getting back into fashion just because like there was part of my life where body acceptance was not a thing. I was like, oh, all my friends are smaller than me, stuff like that. So now I'm like, I'm gonna wear what I want and feel beautiful and feel free to do what I want because God loves me, I love me. So what's to lose?
Yeah.
For a while, we were joking that 15-year-old Jubilee's back, or high school Jubilee. Like we would describe her fashion as high school Jubilee because, like, at the time she really like those like little Oxford
Peter Pan
shirts,
collars.
collars,
love
and then the little like floral print skirt, and she had like a little nice watch, and we do like a top down outfit of the day photo. So we're just like, oh, high school Jubilee.
I think they call that twee.
What?
Twee. Like Tweety, but without TY at the
Oh my
end. Twee. That's the
gosh,
style.
I'm too old for this.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Coming back on style. TikTok said so.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so for me, very similar to both of you, the satisfaction of doing something, you know, putting effort into it, attention to detail, and then producing a really good result, and then being able to be proud of it, and just bask in how beautiful or artistic the thing is that you created. I also thrive with like being different.
Yeah.
So when I create something that's really beautiful but like very different, I don't see a saturation in the industry or in the creative space of that thing, then that makes me really excited too. Yeah.
You're like the Gordo from Lizzie McGuire.
It's like you do the thing, everyone starts following, you're like, oh, just kidding, I'm
like-
going to the next thing now.
I ain't about that trend now.
Yeah. So how about your biggest creative inhibition?
Ooh.
Holdbacks.
There were a lot, honestly.
This is like an entire separate
And then-
episode needs to be
Oh
about
god,
this.
yeah.
Perhaps several episodes.
Honestly, this one goes deep. I think, especially with dance, because that's my main thing. I used to have like a lot of like hidden little fears and self-doubt that honestly carried me, the way I carried myself, the way I talked to people, the way I was scared to talk to people actually, especially public speaking.
Oh, yeah,
I
can
would like
relate.
blank out. And whenever I'm dancing too, like I am a performer and I compete. Why am I afraid to dance in front of the camera? Like it's just the camera with a lens on it. So yeah, I just like never knew why I was afraid. And I think after like honestly learning what my fears were really helpful. And also just like I think I cared too much about the validation from my teachers and inspirations. Because like I think a lot of times when I'm dancing or like doing something, and they really inspire me, and they walk over, and then I can feel their eyes on me, and I'm just like, oh my God, I have to make them proud. I have to do my best. If I mess up, it would be so embarrassing. It would be ouch, right? And then because I think like that, I mess up.
Lols.
And then I do worse than I could have. Yeah, I do so bad because I'm thinking like that. And then that overthinking just causes me to do worse. And it's just all a downward spiral from there. And it's just so bad. But, one more thing I remembered. Especially with dance, I could not for the longest time know what was my style, my personal style. And my main goal when I took class especially was to to copy the choreographer and dance exactly the way they are teaching or interpreting it. So I just never knew how to interpret it in my own way. And when I had to discover my own style, I was like, am I always going to be a copycat or a cover? Like, now I don't want to look like someone, right? Yeah, I feel like a lot of people deal with that too.
Absolutely.
But yeah, these are a couple things that have been tugging me in different directions, and me discovering, following, and falling and getting up and progressing and learning and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot. For me, oh my God, so many inhibitions. Okay, first of all, I already touched on how I stopped doing arts and crafts because it's like really hard to make something perfect. And
That's so true.
for me personally, I'm one of those people that are like, if I can't make it perfect, I just won't do it so I won't embarrass myself. Piano is one of them at recitals and playing for stuff like Awana. Like one time I tanked so hard, I was like tomato red, forgot everything, and then trauma.
That was me.
Yeah, so that's a lot. But with my job, CG, it's really not about perfection in a way because you always have templates, you always have a key shot that someone else set up. So there's a baseline and you don't have to worry about making things look ugly because you just have to match whatever has already been made. But with stuff like makeup, nails, it's kind of very much up to whatever you want to do. It doesn't have to be perfect. And if you make something look interesting, that's like good for you. You're putting out something new to the space. But what like inhibits me from doing a lot of stuff that's artistic, like music, ukulele, whatever, it's like I can play chords and play a song, yes. I can copy others, yes. But what am I making new? Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I love this song. I'm gonna make a cover, and then I'm like, oh no, I cannot sing.
Just kidding.
I cannot sing. So I don't know.
By the way, that's false. You can sing.
Yeah,
I know. It's just like the internal fear of looking like a failure or someone who thinks they can do well but put out something really mediocre. I'm just like, I can't do that. Or I'm like,
too real.
I can make a makeup tutorial on YouTube. And then I'm like, but what if it's really cringe?
Nah, I think people would love your personality.
I just have a lot of like inhibitions and fears about putting out stuff, about putting myself out there because, oh my God. Also, literally, I made a secret makeup account on Instagram because I didn't want anyone from my actual life to know that I have this hobby for the longest time. And then suddenly my family found it. I was horrified.
By my family, it was me, and I liked every single photo.
She's so rude.
I also sent it to a couple people.
Oh, yeah, she did. Like Melissa, Chris, everyone started commenting on my things. I'm like, oh no, I've been discovered.
Like, Jubilee, these are so cute. Wow. And she's just like, no.
And that kind of goes deeper than just like fear of embarrassing myself. Because when I grew up, kind of like thinking makeup was something that was really vain or people needed it to like look not dead. And I was like, but I look fine. I do makeup for fun. It's an art. So for years I was like, I do makeup for fun. It's an art. So now I'm not so embarrassed. Thank God. it's been more freeing thinking this way. Like, it's okay to put out stuff that's not perfect. It's okay to post when I want, what I want. And it doesn't have to be like, hey guys, on my stories, like, what do you want to see from me this week?
Ooh, you know what? I ain't about that culture.
Not at all. I do what I want when I want. It's art. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yes.
And if you try
We're
to
not
box
customer
it up,
service,
if you
man.
box it up, it's literally a job. And I don't want to be an influencer.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of ambitions, but also lots of freedom this year.
Wow. So I trust you'll be sharing your beautiful secret makeup account with us.
Well, it's palette, not palette.
We'll write it down there so you know the correct spelling. It's I mess it up every time. Nice. And I expect you will be putting these in your creative goals as well.
Oh my god.
Don't worry, I'll give you a few seconds to think about it while I talk about my creative inhibition. So, actually, both of them have touched on my inhibitions as well. I think for the longest time that I'm not creative and can only mimic others. Like, I have a really good musical ear, and I can listen to a track and I can know what the bass is doing separate from what the drums and the guitars and the vocals are doing. I can pick it out and I can replicate it fairly well just by ear. So I used to, as a fun thing, I would literally write all the parts in like music notation, and I would play them in their respective instrument sounds, and it would like basically match the original track, and I would just be like, yes, too amazing. But then the problem was that I could only do that, and when it came to my own ideas, this especially showed when I was in college and we were in songwriting class. I like tried really hard to, and on top of like liking to be different and like use different things, like the stuff that was coming out was just like, ew, what are those? Like, ugh. Like I listen back now. Sometimes they'll sing some of my old songs I wrote in college, and I'll be like, ugh, disgusting.
I still like them.
I never want to post that. That's just too nasty. But yeah, like, so I really struggled with like thinking. So this is what inspired the entire title for this podcast, because like for the longest time, I'm like, am I creative or am I just in love with the idea of being creative? You know? Okay, where are my thoughts? So my own ideas and especially in comparison to my classmates and the songs that they were writing, it's just like, oh my god, amazing. Like it sounded like theirs sounded so professional, and mine's just like some dinky home written thing. And it was just like not so much like embarrassing, but I was like disappointed in my own ability. But yeah, like and in a different episode we'll share how we kind of like I kind of like overcame that, and now like I feel like super empowered, and I know I'm creative, I know I'm super out of the box. But yeah, and then the other thing is thinking that things are too hard and then giving up immediately. One example is like a couple years ago, a friend of mine tried to teach me John Mayer's Neon. Okay, this song is very hard, and the reach is so far, and I have like especially small hands. So he was like, this is how you do it. So then I tried it. I was like, nope, and I literally gave up on the spot. But then more recently, I mean, obviously over the years, like I've kind of like maybe gained more hand strength, maybe have more experience playing guitar. But recently I decided to try it again, and I was like, dude, I can actually do it. So like the thing is, if I had pushed myself harder and like really tried a little bit more, I could have pushed past the obstacle and kind of like got it. But like the determination was just not there. And so I really struggled with kind of like pushing through the errors or the mediocrity and then like really trying to get it, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, those are some of my inhibitions.
For sure.
So let's move into your creative goals for 2022.
Okay. Back to me. I think for this year, there are a couple goals. Actually, in 2020 and 2021, I've just like randomly written so many songs. Like it's starting to stack up now. And I have not properly produced and pieced together any one of those songs.
Love it.
And recorded them. So I think my goal for this year is to at least record like at least one and make it good or like really perfect it, or like not use the word perfect, like finesse it. Right? Finesse it. And another thing is I want to create cinematic and concept type of dance or non-dance videos.
Fun.
And I want to not just make it like a dance video, but like have a concept and a story behind it, because I want to tell a story through movement and like the cinematic stuff, even though
visual medium.
Visual, yeah, because I'm like a vision type of person. Like I see things through visions, and I see things through visions more. So I think visual stuff is more prominent to me through art. And I think I'll try to write more songs and also choreograph more, because it's really good to practice your craft. And
Definitely.
yeah, like doing it often will help you to like do it faster and more efficient too. Yeah.
Nice. So tell us, what is your creative handle that people can check out your stuff?
My creative handle, my Instagram is Caris_Nadine. But it's honestly a documentary of like all my dance videos, nothing else. Like I have never posted me singing or playing piano in my entire life, ever.
Maybe you should direct people to your multi-medium creative channel.
I haven't created like a channel officially.
Okay. TBD.
Yes, to be announced. And when I start posting, I will let you guys know.
Very good.
Posting, that is another thing I will do this
Keyword.
year.
Okay. How about you, Jubilee?
Oh.
I would like to put out one video of me making a tutorial.
Yes.
And then one video making a cover of a song I like.
Ooh.
Okay.
Just to try it. Because like, if you don't try, you don't know, okay?
Yeah,
And it's
for
going to be
real.
from my phone. It's going to be a little potato quality, but at least I will know if I actually want to pursue any of them. And if it works out, maybe I'll buy a ring light.
Girl, you're talking to the girl that has gas, so...
Okay, but like, first of all, you have to get over yourself and then work with people who have the equipment. Because like, if you can't get over yourself and you're embarrassed the whole time, how can you do anything?
No, I'll teach you how to use some simple stuff, and you can bring it home and do it yourself.
Okay. But yeah, the goal is to also put myself on a creative schedule for like putting out either like a makeup look or a nail polish post on Instagram, just so I can keep my feed moving and that I can grow in what I have hobbies in, and not just be like, oh yeah, I did like one great look in 2019, that's it.
Peaked there.
Right. And then
Peaked 2019.
yeah, I really do enjoy music, and I feel like in another life, if I wasn't, I don't know, called to do great things for the Lord, I would have maybe pursued voice lessons, music lessons, and
You can still do so.
I know, but like sometimes you just
Still
don't want to
available.
sink time into things that you know aren't eternal.
Or like
Singing is eternal.
or like you feel like ma'am, you sing like all the time.
You know
know
at
what I
this
mean,
moment,
though?
I consider all creative avenues as potentially like eternal.
Okay.
Like worth doing.
But I wouldn't do it as a job. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay, career,
that's fair. Yeah,
career,
yeah.
and like
Yeah,
It
so-
wouldn't be your
those
career.
are-
Yeah, my career is just gonna stay what it is. Just it's a solid job, and I think I just want to grow creatively in my outside of work time. And
Yeah.
do more music, do more makeup, do more nails, stuff like that, and then also do this podcast. This is great.
Yeah.
Okay, I
so
literally
fun.
spend like more time listening to podcasts than actually working sometimes. So it's just always playing. So
Podcast queen.
I enjoy it a lot. This is fun.
Delightful. Okay, so for me, I will be really trying to pursue producing music and other audio art pieces, and as well as different online content as as a career this year. Some of my more specific things, aside from music, which is kind of a given, is to make a short film. And we also want to design some clothing line because we do
I've
all
always
enjoy
wanted
fashion And we're also like really strong like critique people. Like we'll look at something and we'll be able to point out, okay, this is not working. Okay, I like that aspect.
When
of
pettiness
this
works
outfit.
well for you.
It's not pettiness.
also
It's like
knowing
critical
why.
thinking.
Knowing why too. That's important.
It's like, okay, this color works with that, and then this overall vibe, etc. So we want to design clothing line too because honestly, the style that I want to wear is like low-key not even out there. Like they don't really sell it. So perhaps we just need to make our own. And I also young people are a very big passion for me, and I just think that so many people's lives can be so enhanced by engaging in creativity. And a lot of young people I meet, they're like, oh, I just study, I eat food, and then I like either play
Take
video
naps.
games or watch TV, watch anime, and that's like kind of the extent of what they do. But I'm like, okay, but you're not really living. Like you're not really like, it is like until you experience the joy of creating something and just basking in the just joy and pride of like what you've created, you won't understand this like whole new level of satisfaction that it can give to your life. So and I really think that being creative actually brightens someone's personality. Like it brings a whole aspect, a facet of you out that was like is dormant. So I really want to encourage like more people to step into creativity and to like, despite having so many inhibitions and fears and stuff, like guys, we can get through it together.
Yes,
and
you
we
can.
encourage each other and, step on each other's shoulders and learn from each other's mistakes and, and then like the tips and tricks that we may share to help you kind of like break out of any like ruts, or if you feel stuck in a certain way, we can help suggest to like how's to like rekindle or restart your creativity, because God knows that we have all gone through our cycles of like being creative and then like being super not creative for like so many years.
Having a lot of ideas, but not doing them.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I am notorious for that. So, yeah. And I just want to help you guys to realize that you are, in fact, creative.
Yes, you are.
All right.
That's
right. So, yeah, that was a super condensed get to know you. But there's so much more that we want to unpack for you and dive deeper into. So if you enjoyed what you're hearing today, stay tuned for the next episode that we will be releasing in February 2022.
Yes, can't wait.
All right, thanks for listening, everybody. And yes,
You are creative.